What is going on, Headliner Nation? Jake, Fantasy Headliners. Hopefully everyone's doing well out there today, where we're talking about our top 24 quarterbacks and our quick and dirty top 30 running backs for week 4 fantasy football. Now, before we get into these lists, just a quick reminder, maybe you're looking for some flex rankings, some film study, film reviews of players who are struggling, access to Discord. Don't miss out on all the fun that we're having on Discord. Hit that little blue join button right here below the video. Become a channel member. Get a bonus live stream on Sundays. A lot of great perks come along with that. And don't miss out. We're having a great time. We're actually letting a lot of our channel members dictate some of the content that they want to see in future weeks. So don't miss out on that opportunity. Having a lot of fun doing that. But now is the time where we dive into the rankings, and we're starting it off with our top 24 quarterbacks here in week 4. All right, and here we go. And just a reminder, these are a quick run through of our rankings. If you're looking for all the detailed information, that's on the start sit video, so make sure you head to the channel and check those out. But right here at the top shouldn't be much of a surprise. Josh Allen at 1, Jalen Hurts at 2, and Lamar Jackson at 3. These guys absolutely putting up bunches of fantasy points right now. Joe Burrow sitting at number 4, that passing game starting to get going right now after a little bit of a slow start. 5, Patrick Mahomes this week in a great matchup going up against Tom Brady in Tampa Bay on Sunday Night Football. Number 6 is going to be Justin Herbert. How does he respond to that rib injury this week? Does he get Keenan Allen back? Those are a couple things we're paying attention to. 7, going to be Kyler Murray, Arizona Cardinals. The numbers may be down a little bit right now, but he's still finding himself inside the top 10 on the season, so he's sitting right here, number 7. 8, Tua Tagovailoa. How does Tua look this week? It's a short week for Tua. They're playing on Thursday Night Football, and as of right now, it kind of looks like he's going to play and be all right, so that's something to pay attention to. 9, Kirk Cousins, followed by Derek Carr, who even though the Las Vegas Raiders offense doesn't look the greatest, Derek Carr is still going out there and throwing for multiple touchdowns each week, helping him score some points. 11 is Tom Brady in that matchup going up against Patrick Mahomes. 12, Aaron Rodgers. 13, Trevor Lawrence is really climbing up the rankings. I love what I see from this kid. Finally got to see him go back-to-back weeks with multiple touchdowns. Just a difficult matchup this week going up against the Philadelphia Eagles. 14, we got Jared Goff, followed by Ryan Tannehill at 15. The key to Ryan Tannehill is Derrick Henry. When Derrick Henry can get going, Ryan Tannehill is going to score some points. I expect Derrick Henry once again to get a heavy workload, and especially if we can utilize this guy in the passing game. Absolutely got Ryan Tannehill at 15. 16, Matthew Stafford. Still waiting for this offense to click, right? There's a lot of missed opportunities in this offense. 3 times over the last 2 weeks, we've missed Allen Robinson in the end zone for a touchdown. That's something they need to clean up. 17 is Geno Smith coming off a great week 3. 18 is Russell Wilson, who continues to struggle in this offense in Denver, but you have to think, with all the talent surrounding this quarterback in Denver, that they're going to finally figure it out at some point. Until they do, though, we got him dropped down to 18. 19 is Marcus Mariota, because the rushing upside has seemed to dwindle here over the last 3 weeks. 20 is Matt Ryan, Indianapolis Colts, who's followed by Carson Wentz of the Washington Commandos, who I'm a little bit worried has a hard time evading the pass rush of the Dallas Cowboys this weekend. 22 is Jacoby Brissett, Cleveland Browns. At least he finally realized that Amari Cooper is good and is throwing them the ball quite a bit. 23 is Daniel Jones. He's either all-pro or totally lost out there. And then 24, Jameis Winston as of right now, who's dealing with his own injuries. Plus now we also have injuries to Michael Thomas, Jarvis Landry, Taysom Hill. A lot going on with Jameis Winston, and they're traveling to London this week. For whatever reason, he does not play. My next quarterback out, the first one outside the top 24, is Zach Wilson in his first start of the season for the New York Jets, hoping that they can continue that push in the passing game. They throw the ball more than anybody else in the NFL. So right now, if Jameis does sit, Zach Wilson is the next man up. But now we need to transition over to the running back position, and it's a position that has given a lot of people headaches, but don't worry. I see a lot of people in the comment section saying, man, this is what happens when I go heavy running back early. I guess I should be going heavy wide receiver lately. I'm pretty sure, I mean, I haven't talked to all of them, but the Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, even Devontae Adams owners are not exactly thrilled right now either. There's a lot of things going on in fantasy football. You can't panic early. You got to cool off, just relax, let all the cards play out, because you got to remember, a lot of these guys didn't play in the preseason, and these last 3 weeks was basically their preseason. We're looking for things to get better starting right here in week 4. So let's go ahead and dive right in to our quick and dirty top 30 running backs here for week 4. And no, I'm not trying to get super cute here. Saquon Barkley deserves to be on the top of this list. He's producing, and now the big plays are there as well. In an offense that is really banged up from the pass catching position with Sterling Shepard now out, Kadarius Toney unable to play, Wan'Dale Robinson unable to play. Could be seeing a lot of Saquon Barkley. He's number 1 for me here this week, followed by Nick Chubb. Number 2, Cleveland Browns. Nick Chubb has been the most reliable running back so far in this young season, followed by Derrick Henry. It was great to see the King return last week, and I mentioned it earlier. If the pass catching work can continue for Derrick Henry, this dude is on his way back to being the number 1 overall running back this year. Number 4 is Jonathan Taylor. This may be a hot take, having him all the way down at 4, but honestly, this offense hasn't really utilized him enough, and we haven't seen the big plays this year like we saw last year. He's still inside the top 5, sitting right here at number 4, followed by Christian McCaffrey, who really doesn't catch passes much anymore, but getting a lot of volume on the ground. 6, Austin Eckler. At least the pass catching work is there, but we just haven't seen the touchdowns yet. When are the touchdowns coming? It could be here this week, going up against the Houston Texans in a great matchup. Got him at 6. Followed by 7 is Najee Harris, Pittsburgh Steelers, followed by Leonard Fournette at 8. We get the return of Mike Evans this week. It gives the defense something else to look at. Maybe that opens up a little bit more opportunity for Leonard Fournette. 9 is Joe Mixon. Sounds like he should be good to go Thursday Night Football against the Miami Dolphins. We may see a little bit more Samaje Perine than we want to, but it does sound like Mixon is playing. 10 is Dalvin Cook. Still unclear whether or not he's going to play or not for sure, but here's the silver lining. If he doesn't, we're just slotting Alexander Mattison right here into the same spot because we've seen him fill this role just fine in the past. Number 11, Javonte Williams, Denver Broncos. Please free Javonte Williams in Denver for us. Please, Melvin Gordon popped up on the injury report as a limited participant here just yesterday. Does that mean we get more touches this week going the way of Javonte? Hopefully, got him at 11. 12 is Alvin Kamara. With all the pass-catching weapons in New Orleans hurting, bumped him up a couple spots to number 12. Then we go down to 13. Jamal Williams filling in for DeAndre Swift. Should see quite a hefty workload, especially with Amon-Ra also questionable for this weekend. 14 is Cordero Patterson, who's been an absolute beast on the ground. 15, James Robinson. A tough matchup for him this week going up against Philadelphia, but the dude just keeps scoring touchdowns. He's like Forrest Gump out there. I just kept running. Number 16, we go to Aaron Jones. Another tough matchup this week going up against the New England Patriots. 17, Damian Pearson. A matchup going up against a busted up defense for the Los Angeles Chargers. Got him at 17. 18 is Ezekiel Elliott. He's still averaging great numbers on the ground, just not enough big plays there. So he's at 18. 19 is Khalil Herbert. Kind of figuring out whether or not we have any David Montgomery or not. It's not looking the greatest, so Herbert's at 19. Hunt at number 20. Going to be utilizing this backfield. The touchdowns are what's going to be hit and miss, so he's dropped down a few spots to 20. 21 is James Conner, not 100% healthy himself. 22, Damian Harris. What is this backfield going to look like after what we saw from Ramondre Stevenson last week? We'll touch on him here in just a second. 23 is Breece Hall, somebody who I expect to maybe get a little bit more work on the ground with Zach Wilson back under center. 24 is Clyde Edwards-Helaire, a top 10 running back for you this year in fantasy football, but a difficult matchup this week going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 25, Miles Sanders, Philadelphia Eagles. Yes, he's still being committed to in this backfield, but he's also another one of these guys questionable and a little bit banged up right now in a difficult matchup going up against a very underrated Jags defense. 26 then will be Jeff Wilson Jr., San Francisco 49ers. Difficult matchup for him going up against the Los Angeles Rams, a team that's easier to throw on than run on. So Jeff Wilson sitting at 26. 27 is A.J. Dillon. Already talked about him with Aaron Jones. 28 is Josh Jacobs, Las Vegas Raiders. Somewhat of a difficult matchup for him going up against the Denver Broncos, who do have a solid run defense. 29 is Antonio Gibson of the Washington Commandos going up against the Dallas Cowboys, a team in which he's found success in the past against. But this Dallas defense, this Dallas front, very tough to run on, so Antonio Gibson's at 29. And then 30, Tony Pollard, the big play guy in the offense right now for the Dallas Cowboys out of this backfield. He's not going to be a 30-touch ground and pound guy, but the way they're utilizing him is putting him in a position for those big plays, so he's sitting at number 30. But I have an analogy for you. Have you ever been doing yard work and you're bagging your grass clippings and you're just doing your best? You're like using that bag and you're shoving it in. You're trying to get as much grass in that one bag as you can because you don't want to walk all the way around the house into the garage, grab another bag, and all the way back. You're trying to make it fit. That's how I feel with these running back rankings, because there's another few guys that I wish I could throw up into these rankings a little bit higher. We got Devin Singletary, Ramondre Stevenson, Cam Akers, who's getting more work in that backfield now, Rashad Penny, who's who's got such a great matchup this week. Will not surprise me if he pops off. And then J.D. McKissic, who's slowly starting to take away all the pass catching work for the Washington football team. If Carson Wentz is under a lot of duress, which I expect him to be this week, we could see more checkdowns going the way of J.D. McKissic. But then we also got guys we didn't even touch on, like Michael Carter, Travis Etienne, Chase Edmonds, J.K. Dobbins is another guy. There's a lot of guys that have some opportunities coming up, and that's why I'm still very passionate about the depth of the running back position. We're just going to have to be a little bit more patient with these guys and wait until they absolutely explode. Don't go trading away your studs too early, because what happens if you make the playoffs, more than likely the teams that you're going against are going to beat you with your former players, and that is never fun in fantasy football. If you enjoyed the content today, do me a favor, hit that like button, consider subscribing if you haven't already. Having a lot of fun down below in the comment section and on Discord. You got to get in Discord, and you do that by hitting that little blue join button right here underneath the video. Looking forward to talking to you guys at some point in the future, but for now, I'm going to get out of here. Have a great rest of your day, have a great week, and we'll talk to you later.